Step right up, step right up, step right into another amazing show. And trust me, you will adore today's show. Yes, you. Auntie Miracle B is live on YouTube right now.
Lil' P on the track, boy.
What's the business? What's the business? What's the business? Straight fly. Phone jumping off the chain like what's the business? I'ma pull up with the yay like what's the business? Eating lunch with the blood like what's the business? AR double drum like what's the business? 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 What's the business?
Damn, I did it again? Okay, hold on. Let me go back. I added myself to the stream. Shoot. Thank you. That's why I need you to be watching me. All right, let's start over.
Lil' P on the track, boy.
What's the business? What's the business? What's the business? Straight fly. Phone jumping off the chain like what's the business?
Off of the chopper, chop my balls out. That's the business.
I'ma pull up with the yay like what's the business?
I can't talk, I have a cold. That's the business.
Eating lunch with the blood like what's the business?
Back that ass up. Strike it back. That's the business.
AR double drum like what's the business?
Correct the record for the record. That's the business.
What's the business? 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 Catch me sliding to the trap like what's the business?
Pull the gun on my mama. That's the business.
Grounded trying to make a stack like what's the business?
Passing gas in court very loudly. That's the business.
I'ma pull up on you like what's the business?
If you didn't see anybody struck, it didn't happen. That's the business.
She gon' give it to the kid like what's the business?
I ran amok and gave no fucks. That's the business.
30 shots in the clip like what's the business?
Kool-Aid makeup in my face. Future, that's the business.
You don't gotta choose it like what's the business?
Gang, gang.
All my niggas on the job, what's the business?
Got top secret papers in my fort. That's the business.
Trying to rob and you get dry, what's the business?
I'm far from stupid. That's a lie. That's the business.
You a walking stain, what's the business?
Flexing in a dirty kitchen. That's the business.
I'ma hit your chest brain, what's the business?
All my bitches want my body. That's the business.
We be running through a block like what's the business? 100 shots for a op like what's the business?
Gang, gang.
Phone jumping off the chain like what's the business?
What's a vehicle, a car, SUV? That's the business.
I'ma pull up with the yay like what's the business?
Do you recall what you don't recall? That's the business.
Eating lunch with the blood, like what's the business?
Clapping butt cheeks on the yard, like what's the business?
Hey, y'all, double drum, like what's the business?
Spread my cheeks for some sweet meat. That's the business.
What's the business? 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 Bro say he need them pounds. What's the business?
Running from the booty warrior. That's the business.
Hit my line when I'm in town. Like what's the business? Heard they claiming it's a drought. Like what's the business? I'ma bring them round them out. Like what's the business?
Am I muted or am I muted? That's the business.
Killing overflow. Like what's the business? Killing for these hoes. Like what's the business? Never leave without that pole. Like what's the business?
The inmates raping me for my lunch. Like what's the business?
Blowing Cali out the door. What's the business?
Gang, gang.
Stupid link on the cane. What's the business?
Screw it. I'm not going back. All right. That's the Lord telling me to let it ride, to let it go. All right. Well, welcome. Yes, back that ass up. That's the business. Strike it back. That's the business. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me put myself on here. Okay, that's fine. How's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody doing? It is so nice to see everybody. Hey, Vicky Vale, Tony. Hey, Bright, UMD, AO, B Blanco. Welcome. Show Poodles. Welcome. Let me see who else. Deb, Kayla, Debbie Caruso, Donna, Vicky. I already said Vicky. I said B Blanco. Well, B Blanco, Tony. Yeah, all of y'all. Quiet Knitter. Yes. B Smith, B.A. Smith. Yes. Welcome. All right. Well, this evening we are going to, hey Beans, this weekend we're going to do, good grief. Look, it is hotter in the South than Satan's balls. It is 97 degrees and it is 7 p.m. Central. So yeah, hotter than the devil's balls, which is funny. That's going to be what Darrell's going to be juggling Satan's balls. Anyway. Oh, well, thank you, Vicky. I appreciate it. Hey, Wisha Karen Wood. So today I am going to play some of day 5. I was going to do the rest of day 4, but I really wasn't. It's a little too dark. I mean, these with the victims and stuff, they're all kind of dark, but this is a little bit easier to pick fun of than the tail end of day 4. But on day 4, we're going to see, look at this ugly bastard. We're going to see the Bone Steel husband and wife. And the husband saw Jane Kulik on the hood of the car and getting ran over. But Darrell asked a whole bunch of retarded questions as per usual. So let's get started. Vegas is 98. Baby, this is a hot mess, okay? This is terrible. Hold on. Oh, let me go on this. Yeah, this all is bad. This is all bad. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. But let's go ahead and get the party started. And I'll give you my reactions and, my commentary. Yes, I love the Bone Steels. Look at him. He's not reading because his head not moving. I know he's not praying, but he got his demon horns on full display. I think what he's looking at, probably the letter about November the 20th never even happened. Hey, Annie, you have smoke? Oh, we had the smoke from Canada, what, 2 weeks ago? We had terrible. I'm thinking, how does smoke from Canada get to Alabama? No, he's just light. He's light skinned. Look, listen, I had a lyric about oaths of office, OAFS oaths, and I even had Paisley in there as a lyric, but I messed that up. Here we go.
State of Wisconsin versus Darrell
Dirty
B.
diaper.
Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848. May I have the appearances, please?
Morning, Judge Daisy and Zach Woodchow appearing for the state.
Sir, would you please state your name for the record?
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as authorized representative for my client. I accept for value in return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations.
See, he moving his head while he's reading that. How come you haven't memorized this? I even have memorized, but I mean, we have been watching you for like 7 months nonstop.
And charges connected with this case.
Ah.
I do not dispute any of the facts and the charging instruments.
Right, the record should reflect that the individual.
So again, you said that you do not dispute any of the charging instruments. So you are admitting that you're guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Stupid.
Individual known to this court as the defendant, Darrell Brooks, is present in court. He's in custody, but he is wearing street clothes. He's wearing a suit and tie and a mask. And good morning once again to everyone.
Now remember, this is day 5, and I think on day 5, Judge Jenny started the aggravatingness in her face became apparent.
Not identified by their name or consent to being called.
Hey, M. Bomar, welcome. Make sure you got to smash that like button.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have a 13th subpoena? As we discussed yesterday, you wanted to call 13 witnesses. I told you had until this morning to fill out another subpoena and give it to the state so that they could review it.
Now remember, he had the 12 of the prosecution's rejected witnesses. And so he was ammonite, and that's a part of the Darrell Dusty. What did Jay say? Darrell Dusty Darrellisms. Ammonite. So he was ammonite that he was going to have 13 ghosts, 13 lies as his witnesses. And so the 13th was supposed to be somebody who was out of state. And of course, he's broke and the prosecution is not going to pay money for somebody who's moved to Texas. So, anywho's.
Yes, I do.
All right, can you hand that to the bailiff, please?
Hey, Chantal, welcome. Make sure y'all smashing that like button. Look at this fool. Look, moving, he reading. There you go. Yeah, I need my likes to go up. Please and thank you. Now look at her. She's like, what the hell is this? What on earth is this stupidity I'm reading?
Mr. Brooks, I'm reviewing this for completeness. And you have simply put on here, state of Wisconsin plaintiff. That's an entity. You have to name a person, sir.
Listen to this dummy.
Well, the date we would fill in. So I'll have it shown to the state.
By the way, you see this right here? Judge Jennifer R. Darrell. Remember when this con artist said, you wouldn't give me your name? It's right here, right in front of your beady eyes, right here.
Date, and they can let me know their position on that.
Any legal basis why that would not be accepted, Your Honor?
What?
We have to have a person named, sir. so that they can come and testify. You only have an entity named.
Here it comes.
Is it not true that under the Sixth Amendment I have the right to face my accuser?
Ugh. Yep.
Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
Look at her. She tied.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree with the court's assessment.
She
The
tied.
subpoena does not state a person.
Hold on.
Mr. Brooks.
My accuser.
Okay.
Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
Look at her face. She's annoyed already, and we're 7 minutes in. She's already irritated.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree with the court's assessment. The subpoena does not state a person.
I do,
The
Donna.
subpoena
I do.
form specifically indicates that the person requesting the subpoena is to indicate the witness's name.
Oh, look, they're all color coordinated. And look at my boy. He look good in gray. He look good in gray. I mean, he don't look as snackalicious as he did in the all black, but you know, he still look good in the gray. And somebody helped him with his tie. It's a nice and coordinate. It all coordinates.
And address. Mr. Brooks has simply written the word state of Wisconsin.
State of Wisconsin.
For the witness name. State of Wisconsin is an entity. It's not a person. The state of Wisconsin cannot testify at these proceedings.
Sure they
so
can.
The subpoena should be rejected, Your Honor.
Offer the chopper. Sure they can. Sure the state of Wisconsin can testify. They can, the whole state can lift itself off of the continent and come to court. Sure. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean that the state can't testify? They can. They can. And Darrell's going to tell us how it can testify.
That, Your Honor, on the grounds that
Hey, Debbie
every
Steve.
document that was filed in this matter stated that the state of Wisconsin was the plaintiff, which would lead me to believe that the state of Wisconsin is who's bringing the claim against my client.
So he is confusing criminal law with civil law. There is no claim that the state or anyone else that you've committed a crime against, there is no claim. It is, you've been charged based upon what you did, and if it fits within the criminal code, the criminal statutes. That's what establishes jurisdiction, subject matter, personal jurisdiction. Bitch, you are tied. You are shackled to a table. Your black ass is in jail. So there is jurisdiction over your ass. I mean, and it's really jurisdiction over it in the jailhouse, in the booty house. I just want to throw that out there.
How could they not be subpoenaed to testify if they're the plaintiff?
Hey, Glenn.
And under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser. My accuser in this matter is the plaintiff, which is the state of Wisconsin.
Hold on now. Now, didn't he just say his client? He referred to himself in the third person. Now it's he has the right to face his accuser. Let me strike that back. Whoever told me just to hit the arrow, I thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That makes this so much easier than trying to, get my mouse and get back to the time.
Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser. My accuser in this matter is the plaintiff, which is the state of Wisconsin.
Oh, wait a minute.
So how could they not be subpoenaed to testify if they're the plaintiff? And under the Sixth Amendment, which would lead every document that was filed in this matter stated that the state of Wisconsin was the plaintiff, which would lead me to believe that the state of Wisconsin is who's bringing the claim against my client.
Against my client. So we got a third party intervener against your client. Now you have a fool for a client. Okay, let's just get that out there. You are a fool. You are a clown demon. You are what's that clown? Hey, Dryad. Welcome. Hey, Angelica. I love your name. If I had a child, a little girl, I was gonna name her Angelica. So I love that. I love it. Okay, so yeah, he's the alleged defendant. He is the client, not the inmate. I need my likes to come up, please. I got 35 likes and 50 viewers. I need these likes to come up, please, and thank you. Y'all got to help me with the algorithm. Got to help me with the algorithm. Okay, so we got the client, and this Sixth Amendment will allow his client to confront the accusers. Okay, his client. What type of a world, what parallel universe is he able to have a client? This I want to see.
How could they not be subpoenaed to testify if they're the plaintiff? And under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser.
Face my accuser. So that means it's you. Instead of you saying, who is you? Who is he? He. It's you.
My accuser in this matter is the plaintiff, which is the state of Wisconsin. Attorney Opper also brought up that it didn't have an address on there. None of my subpoenas had addresses, as we went on the record, and that was stated that a lot of the paperwork that I have don't have a lot of the people's addresses on there. And those subpoenas were accepted, so I don't.
Idiot, the addresses and everything was in your box fort. And remember, the prosecution assisted, because you stupid and didn't open them boxes. You didn't open them shits, right? So because you didn't open them, they helped you. But all the addresses and information was in the box fort. But you just wouldn't, your eyes supposed to be doing some work, okay? They're not supposed to just be brown. They're supposed to be doing some work.
Don't see the difference with this subpoena not being accepted for the reasons that Attorney Opper just stated.
Oh, okay. Attorney Opper wrong. Gotcha. Opper the chopper wrong.
Mr. Brooks, in relation to that subpoena, based upon my review for completeness, this court would note you have not named a person, you've named an entity, and the subpoena will be kept on file as part of the court record, but I'm not going to require the state of Wisconsin to testify in this case because they are an entity and you have not named a person.
So by his logic, that must mean the state of Wisconsin is the plaintiff. The representatives, the third party interveners of the state of Wisconsin is Opper the Chopper, my boy, Zach Wichow, and Attorney Basie. So did he expect one of them, one of the prosecutors to testify on his behalf? And they're the ones that's trying to convict his black ass? Okay.
Are they not? Or are they not the plaintiff, Your Honor?
They are the plaintiff in this case, sir.
And why are they not able to testify, being that they...
Sir, you've named an entity, not a person. People are called to the witness stand to testify. You have had an opportunity to cross-examine every single person who has been called by the state to testify in this trial. I believe that your Sixth Amendment rights have been complied with.
Can you imagine how bad Darrell stinks? They can only take baths twice a week. Can you imagine how bad he smells? Look at her face. She's so annoyed. She is so annoyed. I like her glasses, though.
Not if I'm not allowed to face my accuser, Your Honor. My accuser in this matter would be the state of Wisconsin.
The state of Wisconsin.
And with all due
I believe your
respect,
Sixth Amendment rights in that regard have been complied with.
I'm requesting a written judicial finding of fact and conclusion of law on this issue.
You got the conclusion of law on this issue, doofus. You got it. And again, if she gives you a finding of fact, which is stupid just on its face, but if she gives you a finding of fact that you disagree with, you're going to rip it up like you did the subject matter jurisdiction thing. You're not going to believe it because you're right. You're right. Everybody's wrong. And whoever gave you this crap has led you astray, way astray, like directly to the booty house astray.
For the grounds that I just stated,
Grounds.
it was seen based on the Sixth
Hey,
Amendment.
Captain KD, welcome,
that
welcome.
I'm not being awarded the chance to face my accuser, which I should be awarded that based on the Sixth Amendment. If I'm not able to face my accuser, then how can the claim even stand?
Stupid.
How can a claim be brought against my client if I'm not able?
No, he's back crying again. So he's no longer facing his accuser. Now it's the client. Gotcha.
To face the accuser.
So this case is a criminal case in a court of competent jurisdiction in the state of Wisconsin, Waukesha County. This case was initiated initially by the filing of a criminal complaint. Then there was a preliminary hearing where probable cause was found.
That's the claim, nigga. It's the claim.
After that point, there was an information that was filed. And at some point, an amended complaint, perhaps even a second amended complaint, was filed as well, putting you on notice of the charges and the factual basis for those charges, along with the statutes that are alleged to have been violated.
By the way, the statutes that are alleged that have the statutes that the state alleges that who is you, doofus, cockapoo pants, violated is in that little maroon book that is sitting on the end of his table that he has not bothered to pick up because he knows what hearsay is. Did you see blah blah blah? Hearsay. What was so and so doing? Hearsay, because he knows already. It's clearly hearsay, according to him and whomever he's getting legal advice from.
I'm not going to explain any further why you can't call the state of Wisconsin in the way that you've subpoenaed them or attempted to subpoena them for the reasons I've already stated. I understand where you might disagree with the court's ruling, but my ruling stands, and I'm not requiring the plaintiff in this case to serve that subpoena in any way for the defects I've already noted.
May I state for the record?
And I'm also not going to issue a written decision.
Hey, Christine.
The record speaks for itself.
May I state for the record, Your Honor, that I have not even seen a complaint in this matter.
It's in your
and the jurisdiction still has yet to be proven, which is another thing that needs to
Brenda.
be challenged. There has not been proven that there's subject matter jurisdiction as of yet. There's no verified proof of it. There's
the verified proof is that you're incarcerated and you've been in custody for over a year. That was the verified proof. Your black ass is chained to a table, and you got a court officer right behind you, and then you have court officers over on the other side, and then you have that officer, the one that's the cute one in the all black, well, he's wearing gray today, but in the all black everything, he watching your black ass too. So that's your subject matter jurisdiction. That's the business.
No verified proof of even a claim, especially if I'm not allowed to face my accuser. And I don't understand how you can make that judicial decision, Your Honor, when it's clear discrepancies in the paperwork of this matter.
Well, she can make a judicial decision, sir, is because she's a judge. Ooh, Did the black robe not, tip you off that she's a judge and she's making a legal determination because she's a freaking judge? You should know this because you are a criminal extraordinaire, one-man crime wave.
Like I said, I have yet to see jurisdiction be proven. It has not been proven. I have yet to see a complaint. I have not seen that.
The court has provided you with, I believe it was the second amended criminal complaint, along with the information that was provided to you previously.
In the fort. It's all in the fort.
And noted on the record, I've already addressed your motion to dismiss previously. I'm not going to revisit that. There's no legal basis requiring me to do that, sir. The plaintiff in this matter has presented with.
That's correct. Thank you, Glenn. When they had the colloquy, they advised him of the claims against him. And Judge Darrell went meticulously over each charge and the penalties that he faced. So stop it, telling these lies.
This is to establish venue. And again, as I've noted previously, it's a criminal case with criminal charges with
hey, Cindy.
A second amended criminal complaint detailing the factual basis upon which these charges are based. We're a notice pleading state. And along with the information, you've been made aware of all of the charges and the penalties you face and the factual basis upon which the state has brought these charges. We are in the middle of trial. Your objections are noted. We will continue today with the jury trial.
For the record, may I respectfully move for an interlocutory declaratory appeal on this matter, Your Honor?
No, fool. She's not an appellate court. So she can't rule on an interlocutory appeal. See, the word appeal, that comes after the trial and the conviction. And then you appeal. You can't appeal before there's a verdict. And bruh, hey, you have made the jury love you. They love you. You are wonderful. You have been absolutely the best, on your best behavior. Defendant, defendant. Wait. I'm trying to get the inflection that Opera used. The defendant. Well, we're going to get to that one day too. So, I'm just trying to go from day to day and pick out the interesting things. And, day 12 is just like the best day. And I cannot wait to get to day 12.
Your request is noted for the record. I'm not an appellate court,
thank
sir.
you, Captain KD.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction.
So what's the competent jurisdiction, sir? Is it military or admiralty? What's the court of competent jurisdiction? Since there's no criminal court, even though this falls under criminal. And again, here you go. You can see the book right here. It's right here. Right here. But you got this mess here.
Your request is denied.
Based on what law or fact, Your Honor?
I've previously addressed the issue, sir. Based on law of the case.
Are you making a judicial determination?
She's a
not
judge.
Awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser.
I'm not making any such determination here today. All right.
What law of fact?
I'm going to turn to the district attorney's office. Do you have a witness available?
Yeah. See, Judge Darrell is letting him know that she is the HBIC, the head bitch in charge. That was that look that she gave him. I am the head bitch in charge up in here.
Your Honor.
Your request is noted for the record. I'm not an appellate court, sir.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction.
Your request is denied.
Based on
I'm the head bitch in charge. You better recognize my authority. I'm the HBIC in this bitch.
On what law or fact, Your Honor?
I've previously addressed the issue, sir,
So
based
you're
on
making-
law of the case.
Are you making a judicial determination that I'm not awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser?
I'm not making any such determination here today.
I have 73 viewers and 49 likes. Can I please get my likes up to 60? Can I please get my likes up to 60? Please, please, please. And thank you.
All right.
What law or
I'm
fact?
going to turn to the district attorney's office. Do you have a witness available?
Yes, we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, our jurors here. All right, the jurors will be brought out, sir.
Your Honor.
Your
With all due
Honor.
respect for the record, you're avoiding my questions.
Well, your questions are stupid, and she's already answered them multiple times.
Mr. Brooks, I've addressed the issues that need to be addressed this morning. I've also addressed the same issues probably every day we've been in court. I know you may be dissatisfied with the response that I'm providing to you, but my responses stand.
It's not a dissatisfaction, Your Honor. It's a lack of understanding, which I don't have. I don't even understand the
true nature and cause
of the charges.
Yeah.
And
Mr.
without,
Brooks, you've been made aware of them multiple times.
I do not understand
I
them, is what I'm saying.
encourage you.
How do you not understand that you killed people and injured like 70, 80, 100 people? How do you not understand this? How? You've been watching right here. You've been hearing the bodies thump, thump, thump. We got you on camera with the windows down, but you still don't understand? Still? You are stupid. You are mesmerizingly, painfully stupid. Oh, for the love of God.
Once again, if you don't understand anything, to seek the advice of an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice.
I'm not asking for that, Your Honor. I'm really asking why are my constitutional rights being prejudiced?
Prejudice.
It states under the Sixth Amendment that I have the
Sir,
right.
I've already addressed this. Okay. We're not going to have any further argument on this topic. All right. Your Sixth Amendment rights are being honored.
Thank you, Sledge.
No differently than
Sledge.
any other defendant that has appeared in my court.
Have any other defendant not been awarded the opportunity to face their accuser?
Bruh, these people bent over backwards for you. Bent over backwards. They bent over so much they were helping you. Your dusty ass, they was helping. They did everything they could to help you. They let you ask stupid questions over and over and over. They let you re-traumatize the victims. They let you run rampant. You ran amok in the courtroom. Oh Lord, Munchkin. Okay, I'll be back.
You are facing your accuser, sir. Every single witness who's been on this stand, you have cross-examined.
None of those witnesses are making a claim. None of those witnesses are the plaintiff. None of those witnesses are identified as the injured party. An injured party has to make the claim, Your Honor. A
So
living.
it's my opinion that your belief as it relates to that is mistaken. It's not a lawful argument and it's frivolous. I've direct your attention once again to the Beneby decision.
Is that not a federal case, a United States?
You're asking me for legal advice. I'm not going to provide that to you, sir.
I'm just asking what kind of case it was. Was it federal Supreme
It's
Court
a Seventh
case?
Circuit Court of Appeals case. We're in the Seventh Circuit, sir.
But you just stated that you're not a court of appeals. But you're citing a court of appeals
but Court
case.
of Appeals case law applies to this court, sir. I'm bound by legal precedent from the various courts that are above me.
And you're still not explaining how I'm not able to face my accuser, which is my Sixth Amendment constitutional right.
Sir, I'm not going to explain the law to you. I've made my decision. It stands.
I'm not arguing that that part of it, Your Honor. I'm just merely
Do we have the
stating
jurors
for the
come in?
record.
Yeah, I heard the door. Okay, thank you.
I'm merely stating for the record that I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my
Your
accuser.
objection is noted, sir, once again. We'll
Okay, I'm
continue
back.
this morning. Thank you.
None of the witnesses that testify are the accuser. None of the witnesses that testify are the injured party, which
Are you freaking serious? Nope, they're not the injured party. The day before, that girl, Jajewski, I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but that was the young lady that had the white sleeveless top. She saw you hit those children from Extreme Dance, and she saw you run over the Darrell kids. And this is, 8 days prior to you calling their mother to testify on your dumbass behalf. So these living human beings that said you did it, you guilty, and you admit that you're guilty. Those are the plaintiffs, and they have said that they've been injured by you. So I don't know where the brain is. I don't know. He has to have at least at most 2 brain cells, but they're not firing. The math ain't mathing with him. It ain't mathing.
the claim has to be made by a living, breathing human being.
Well, you killed
Which
6
has
of them.
not.
Using civil law with criminal law.
You killed 6 of them. 6 of the human beings. You killed 6 now.
That's what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying.
confusing.
So they can't be there.
I'm not confusing any law. The
Duh.
Constitution says that I have the right to face my accuser.
Oh, Lord.
And under the Sixth Amendment, I'm not being awarded that constitutional right. I think that definitely needs to be on record, and that definitely is the issue that needs
Your
to be
objection's
raised.
noted, sir. If you believe I've erred in that regard, you can raise that issue on appeal if you are convicted.
HBIC.
May I put Your Honor on notice that I intend to appeal that decision?
Uh-huh.
Your statement's noted for the record.
HBIC. Oh, okay, we got our crap.
Is that a judicial determination? I would not be able to face my accuser, Your Honor.
I have not made any such determination, sir.
Will you be making a judicial determination?
She's already made
Sir,
it.
I have not made any kind of determination that your Sixth Amendment rights have been violated. On the contrary, I believe this court has honored those rights.
Even with me not being able to face my accuser, which is the state of
Your
Wisconsin, the
position
plaintiff.
is noted, sir.
He is so simple. His simple-minded ass. He is so simple.
Is
It's
that a
noted for the
judicial?
record. I've already addressed it.
Is that a judicial determination?
Sir, the record speaks for itself.
It sure does.
Is that a judicial determination?
All right, I believe the jurors are coming out. All rise, please.
Are you going to answer that, Your Honor?
Get your
Or is
stank
that a
ass
tacit
up.
agreement?
I'm not going to answer that further. I've answered it multiple times.
Is it a tacit agreement?
It is not.
Tacking.
Then I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser. Or a judicial determination should be made.
Record to reflect that the jurors are coming in for the morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The record should also reflect that I received no answer to that question.
She answered your question. I don't know how many times. How many times? How many times? She answered it.
How many times I gotta tell you bitches you can't fuck with me? How many times I gotta tell you hoes you look dusty? How many times I gotta tell you bitches you can't fuck with me? How many times I gotta tell you? How many times? How many times? How many times I gotta tell you these lines? How many times I gotta tell you he's mine? How many times I gotta tell you bitch back off cause you look a mess? Yes, I'm blessed, never been stressed. My nigga take me to the Virgin Islands like yes. bitch, cause that's what I gave him first. How you feel hurt like whoa? How many times I gotta tell you bitches you can't fuck with me? How many times I gotta tell you hoes you is dust?
How many times? How many times? Look at her. She barely holding on.
And good morning to the remaining jurors who
She
are
looks so
filing in.
tired. She looks so tired.
Of course, we stand for you. So when you come in, you can have a seat. And thank you, everyone. Please be seated. State may call its next witness.
Thank you. The state will call Stephanie Bonesteel.
Up in a chopper.
Good morning,
Chop them
Ms.
balls.
Bonesteel. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right. It is up a riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's...
You know what? I thought about writing him a letter. I thought, I should pretend like I'm interested in him. Like, oh, I saw you in court and you was sexy. Let's I want to be there for you and we get together. Be like a love after lockup thing.
My name is Stephanie Bonesteel, Stefanie Bonesteel.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Bonesteel.
Morning.
Could you please tell me your occupation?
I am the head of the marketing area of Citizens Bank.
And directing your attention to November of 2021, were you tasked with assembling some co-workers to march in the Waukesha Christmas parade that year?
Yes, I was.
Well, remember he said that his daughter, the daddy's girl, wrote him a letter and he still didn't read it.
What was Jane's role at the bank, please?
Jane was a teller at our Waukesha branch.
Okay. And did Jane agree to participate in the parade on November 21 of 21?
She did.
Were you there?
Yes, I was.
Did Citizens Bank have a float in the parade?
Yes, we did.
Could you describe that, please?
Yes, we had a float that was pulled behind a vehicle. It was decorated for the season, and we do not have anybody riding on our floats. Typically, we have
thank you,
people
Cold
who
Brew.
walk alongside the float and hand out candy.
About how many people were participating with your group that afternoon?
That afternoon, we had 15 in our group, 8 employees plus 7 friends or family members.
Okay. Did you actually walk in the parade, ma'am?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did Jane actually walk in the parade?
Yes, she did.
I'd like to display for the witness only exhibit number 47, please.
Objection. Come on.
Go ahead.
Oh, you did it.
In a minute, it'll show up on your screen. Just tell me when you see it, please.
I see it.
Okay. Do you recognize the people and the events that are depicted in exhibit number 47?
Here come the nature and cause
Yes, I do.
of the charges.
Do you see Jane Kulik in this picture?
Yes, I do.
Does this, are you in this picture?
Hey, I see it all. Hey, Jay Jones.
I don't see that I am.
Okay. Did you walk in the parade with any family members?
I made you
Yes,
there, Annie.
my daughter and my son were there walking alongside with us, and my husband was driving the vehicle.
Okay. And the actual photograph that I've put up for you, you don't see yourself in that photo.
I don't think I see myself in this photo.
Okay. Do you see Jane Kulik in the photo?
Yes, I do.
Are you able to identify Jane in the photo?
Yes.
Do you believe this photo was a true and accurate representation of the way Jane looked that day as she walked in the parade?
Yes.
What do you remember about her clothing?
The dusty Darrellisms, we've heard tacket agreement. I don't think that he's mangled any other words yet, but it's coming.
She had on a hat I guess I would describe it as a Santa hat that looked like it maybe had a Minnie Mouse bow on top.
Oh.
And she had leggings on that were patterned.
Hey, China. Welcome, welcome.
We, several of us were wearing red ponchos that we provide to anyone who's participating in a parade. If they wish to wear them, we don't make them, but it's just another layer of warmth. And it then is obvious that we're part of the bank group with those red ponchos on. She is wearing a red poncho.
All right, permission to publish or move to admit.
Look at
permission
him.
to publish number 47, please.
Objection.
Exhibit 47 is received, permission to publish is granted.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Objection.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So,
Grounds.
Ms. Bonesteel, the screen in front of you is a touch screen. Could you just circle or mark with an X where Jane is in this picture? Whoops. And it looks like maybe she's in the act of throwing some candy or something like that. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I believe. She must have those blue bags had candy in them.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, did there come a point you could take that down, please? Did there come a point in time when you were marching in the parade when something awful happened?
Objection.
Overruled, she may answer.
For the record, she did shake her head in the affirmative.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like for you to kind of walk us through it as you remember it, okay? Start out by telling us you and your kids, where were you as a relationship to the float that your husband was driving?
My kids and I were on the driver's side of the vehicle, but behind the vehicle a ways. I would say I was probably
You can tell she's struggling.
10 to 15 yards behind the back corner of the float.
Okay. So there's the truck and then there's the trailer with the float on it, right?
Yes, the truck we have a Suburban. The Suburban was pulling the float.
Okay. So you were the truck, the float, and then you're still 10 or 15 feet back.
10 or 15 yards.
10 or 15 yards. Thank you. Back. Okay. And what's the approximate age of your kids?
At the time, my daughter was 13 and my son was 10.
Okay. So they're near you?
They were near me. I knew they were on the same side of the street as I was. I knew they were ahead of me, so closer to where the vehicle was.
Okay.
But I didn't know exactly where they were. They were also walking along and throwing out candy.
Okay. What do you remember next?
Yeah, don't pay attention to any of this, sir.
Spent a good time.
Don't watch it.
As the leader of the group, I'm always keeping my eye on everybody who is participating to make sure everybody's doing well. I also was, during this parade, looking back at the unit behind us.
Come on.
Coincidentally, my
Hold it together.
daughter's two friends were part of the Waukesha Extreme Dance team. So they were performing
Okay.
in the unit behind us. And I, when I could, would look behind and glance at the girls dancing.
Okay.
At one point, I glanced behind me towards where the dance team was. I turned my attention that way because there seemed to be some sort of commotion. I can't explain what it was. Parades, if you've ever been in a parade, are very loud. There's music. There's a lot of crowd noise.
But if y'all remember when he started running over people, that joyful jubilation that you heard the Santa Claus Christmas music, Jingle Bell Rock, and then the next thing you hear is Bedlam. You hear pandemonium. You hear panic. You hear terror. You can hear it.
But something
You can almost feel it.
made me look and think, what
Hey,
was
say
that?
Bella. Hey, Bella.
Okay, something
Bella.
unique, something that wasn't right.
Look at him.
Correct.
Overruled. Her answer may stand. Keep that in mind going forward.
Go ahead.
Hey, deep
I
rooted.
turned my attention back forward towards our group. And I again turned back towards the dance team because, again, something maybe I had heard, something maybe that, again, seemed out of place. And that's when I realized I saw headlights.
Yep.
Now, were these headlights part of the extreme dance team or something else?
I realized within a second or two that no, I could see the truck. I believe it was a larger black truck. It was part of the dance team's unit.
Okay.
I saw that, and to the right of that, so it would be the, again, driver's side of the truck is where I saw this other set of headlights.
Did the headlights get closer to you?
Yes, I quickly realized that the headlights were coming basically straight at me.
Were you able to get a description of this vehicle with the headlights driving in your direction?
Well, we need the license plate.
As it passed, I realized it was an SUV.
Do you remember the color?
I do not.
Okay. You remember it was an SUV.
Yes.
A raggedy one.
Where were you when it passed by?
I was on the street. I was near the curb, but not up on the sidewalk.
Okay. Would that be the south side of the street or
Thank God
the
for
left-hand
that.
side of the street as you're marching westbound? No, I'm sorry, south side of the street.
Yes, it would have been the south side of the street.
Okay.
And
Don't be looking confused. You know what you
again,
did.
it appeared the headlights were coming straight at me and then turned a little to the right, so more towards the center of the street.
Okay.
Shortly before it passed me, I would say the vehicle passed me within 3 to 5 feet.
Okay. Were you able to see the driver of the vehicle?
No, I was not.
Okay. What did you do when this vehicle went past you?
If anybody needs a death penalty, it's Darrell.
Honestly, my biggest concern is where my kids were. I didn't know exactly what their positions were.
Hey, Rob.
More than I was concerned about getting out of the way. I was
Thank you.
concerned that they were not in the path of this car.
See, bitch, these people care about their children. They care about their neighbors and their friends. Unlike you, who has done not shit for your children. You hadn't even met, from what I heard, allegedly, that you hadn't even met Arsenaway. I mean, you met her like once. You hadn't did nothing for your son, your grown son, the one that you didn't pay child support his entire life, who's going down the dumbass road that you went down because you were a failed parent. I bet you know you got your son through high school, and it was a proud moment, but you hadn't been nowhere near him to get him through high school. Nowhere near. And all of these baby mamas didn't come and speak on your behalf, period. You had none of them, none of your baby mamas had anything nice to say about you. That tells you something, doesn't it?
Did you see the car continue
Trash box.
past the float for Citizens Bank?
Yes. After it passed me and I was searching, I did notice that there was a clear area on the street ahead of me, about to where the vehicle was. Not so much the float, but the vehicle.
Oh yeah,
So there
definitely
was
some
The
bodies
one your
killed.
husband's driving.
The one my husband was driving.
Definitely some bodies killed.
Again, the street was fairly clear. So I was searching with my eyes and running up towards the crowd on the side, again, looking to see if I could spot my kids.
Can you imagine her fear?
And that's when I noticed that there was a person in the street about where our vehicle was, about it's hard to tell exactly where, but I would say next to some part of the vehicle.
Your husband's vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
And this person was running forward. I assume trying to get out of the way.
Did you see who the person was?
At that point, I couldn't tell exactly who it was. I knew it was someone from our group because I could see the red poncho.
Yeah.
And I could see the hat. I should mention that Jane was not the only one wearing a hat. There were two other people that were wearing the similar hats.
Was the hat that Jane Kulik was the one that she was wearing? Was that the hat that was lodged in his on the hood? Well, not the hood, but under his windshield wipers. Was that the hat? Was it Jane Kulik's?
Okay. Did you see the SUV strike the person running in the red poncho?
I did.
Tell us what you remember, please.
Dang. Hey, Elaine.
I remember seeing the vehicle basically moving at a pretty high rate of speed towards the person that was running. I do remember seeing taillights, but not brake lights.
Yep, because the fool didn't stop.
And I, again, am watching this from the back. I think before I even remember seeing anything, I heard a very loud impact.
She got 5 or 6 kids.
A very, very
Hey,
loud
Rachel.
thud.
And then what?
At that point, I also remember hearing a very audible gasp. I don't know if that was from the crowd, the people watching, or if it was from the person that was struck. I then saw from the back, I guess it maybe wasn't enough of an angle.
Hey,
I could see
Martina.
that there was a
Welcome.
person on the vehicle, and I did see the red poncho above the roof of the vehicle.
Oh man!
At one point, for a second.
Above the roof.
Did the SUV then pass around your husband's truck on the driver's side?
Yes.
Overruled. Her answer may stand.
Where did you see it go?
Hey,
I
Mike.
saw it continue forward.
He kept going forward.
Around the front of the vehicle And from there, I lost sight of the vehicle, and at that point, I just started going through the crowd and to find my kids.
Quit
Were you
looking
able to locate your
confused.
kids?
Yes.
Were they physically injured in any way?
No, they were not physically injured.
How about you? Were you physically injured in any way?
No, I was not physically injured.
Uh-oh. So that means she and the kids weren't physically injured. So that's going to prove that he didn't intend to hit anybody. And again, it wasn't as bad as they say it was, because he did not have the intent to run over everybody. He just ran over about 80 and killed 6. But it's a relative small number because there was hundreds or thousands of people there. So out of that's an acceptable ratio of dead to live people. So yeah. Hey, Aaron.
After you found your kids, you remember where you went or what you did?
I found my son first, and then I found my daughter within
Hey,
a few seconds of one another. I grabbed onto them. And a few seconds after that, my husband came running from where he was and grabbed onto us.
Oh, see, Darrell, the husband came to find his wife and kids because he gives a shit about his family. And he wanted to protect his family. He wanted to protect his children. That's what a man is supposed to do. They're supposed to protect their wife or girlfriend, and especially the children. Because your children are part of you. You understand? They're part of you. When you die, 23 of your chromosomes will be left here. So it's almost like you are perpetuating your legacy, and you people technically don't die, so to speak. They transition to another life, another reality, but you have a part of you still on the earth.
At some point, I don't know who, I don't know if it was people from our group. I don't know if it was the crowd, but people grabbed us and moved us up onto the sidewalk.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions.
Here we go. Here come the fuckery.
Any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. For
It
the
should be-
record, I don't consent to that name.
Now, whatever. There shouldn't be no questions.
You stated that you were part of the parade as the Citizens Bank. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Would it be fair to say? Come on, let me get
Was
that.
that your first time participating in the parade, or have you done it before that evening?
Who cares?
We have participated in probably 20 parades over the last 5 years. I have been in that particular parade at least once before.
And guess what? Nobody ran into the parade and killed anybody the times that she did it. So come on. That's a stupid question. But this is you, as per usual. You're going to ask something stupid. So let's just continue with the stupidity. Come on.
You said that you saw headlights from the vehicle that was approaching.
No. It wasn't approaching. It was running people over. I wish he would stop trying to distance himself from what he did. You ran people over. It wasn't just approaching, like you stopped, or, you are driving in traffic somewhere. You ran them over.
That'd be fair to say.
Yes.
Do you recall if it was still daylight at that time?
I would say it was dusk.
And what would you consider to be dusk?
Idiot, dusk is it's still a little bit of light and the street lights are coming up. Remember when you was a kid and I don't know if who's ever Gen X and above, and not Z or Y or whatever the heck is out. But you remember when it was safe to go outside and play and your parents told you, go outside and stay outside, but you better be back in the house when the street lights come on? That's dusk.
Still light, or
It was more dark than light.
do you recall about what time of evening that was?
Based on when the parade started, I would estimate it to be about 4:30.
Because she was timing it.
So from your recollection, it was more dark at 4:30 p.m. than light.
That's what the hell she just said. She said literally, it was more dark than light. Why is this a question?
Yes.
Come on. Let's get on with it.
You also testified that the vehicle came 3 to 5 feet from you. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it is.
You almost killed her. Is that fair to say?
Would you say that's pretty close?
Yes, I would.
Here it comes. Did you see a license plate, or did you see the operator of the vehicle? It's gonna be one of them questions.
And you also said you weren't able to identify the color of the vehicle. That'd be fair to say?
Yes.
Because that matters.
So my question would be, with the vehicle being that close, how were you not able to identify the color of the vehicle?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe she was traumatized. Maybe she blocked out some of that because she was focused on trying to make sure that her kids were not trampled, ran over by you, dusty ass you, in your raggedy, over 10-year-old vehicle. You.
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Do you know the VIN number? Did you catch the VIN number of the
Were you
vehicle?
able to see a license plate from the
There you
vehicle?
go, license plate.
I'm sure I would be able to see, but in a state of fear and panic,
That you
I wasn't
caused.
able to
That you caused,
register
sir.
what it was.
So would it be fair to say that because of that same reason is why you wouldn't be able to identify the color of the vehicle?
Correct.
Stupid. Come on.
You also said you saw tail lights. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I did.
Were the tail lights bright?
Idiot. She said she saw tail lights, but she didn't see brake lights. Tail lights and brake lights are different. Tail lights are brake lights are bright red, and that lets you know that they're braking. Even if your throttle body, that lie he told at the end, his throttle body was messed up and he couldn't stop. I bet the tail lights would still illuminate and it would show that you attempted to stop. Right? I hate
They
him.
were illuminated like normal taillights.
Would that for any reason be able to impede you from being able to see the license plates?
How light are the lights for you to see the license plate and it's dark outside? Stop it. lice in place. Them shit locks had lice in place.
Do you recall where you, or let me back up.
Back that ass up.
Did you go inside of any buildings after the incident?
Yes, we were asked to go inside of the Nice Ash cigar bar.
About how close was the Nice Ash cigar bar to where you were participating in the parade?
What is the relevancy of this
It
question?
was pretty much right there.
Would that have been on the side of the street that you were on or the opposite side?
That was on the same same side of the street that I was on.
Do you recall if you were close to any intersections at that time?
Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Were you close to intersections? Really? The question is, were you close to intersections? Were you close?
I was more in the middle of the block than closer to an intersection.
Do you remember any cross streets? Because you said you were in the middle of the block. Do you remember the cross streets or the next cross street that would have been?
How in the hell is this helping you? How? Listen, I don't know the cross streets where I work. I couldn't tell you the cross streets. I couldn't tell you the streets in my subdivision. I don't freaking know. I know mine. So I'm pretty sure she don't know the cross streets. You know, women, we don't do cross streets and actual streets. We do landmarks. You know, it's that big building with next to Walmart. We know that. You know, on the other side of town, next to Walmart, and then it's a City Trends and Macy's. Oh, I know exactly where you are.
Ahead of you?
I would not be able to name the street by name. I am not that familiar with downtown Waukesha.
Thank you.
Do you recall any side streets at all during the parade route?
For the love of God.
I do remember crossing several of them.
Do you recall if they were barricaded in any way?
Most of the streets had a large number of people standing in them. Whether there were barricades behind the people, I am not sure.
Dumbass. You ran over the barricades. We saw you do it. Why are you asking these questions? He really thinks this is helping him. This is amazing to me.
Did you observe any law enforcement standing at those cross streets?
Didn't you get, the Viking warrior, didn't he shoot at you? Didn't he shoot at you? And I think that was a cross street. He shot at you 3 times. It looked like a cross street to me.
Yes, I recall seeing law enforcement at least some of the
Hey, Mojo.
Some of the cross streets.
Come on. Read it. Get it together.
And you testified that you did not see the driver. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
She just
Do you
knew
recall
ugly.
giving any police report or being interviewed by any law enforcement?
Yes.
Do you recall if that was the same day of the incident or in the days following?
Who cares?
I gave my statement to a police detective on Friday of that same week, the day after Thanksgiving.
So that would be around the 26th of 2021?
When you were in jail, sir. That's when you were locked up lying in the jailhouse, trying to protect your booty hole.
November the 26th of 2021. Would that be fair to say?
Come on. She trying to zen. She
I believe
woosah.
it would be November 26th.
Do you recall why it would take almost a week to be interviewed or to make a report?
Come on. You ran over a lot of folks. You traumatized a whole lot of people. They probably had to get to people, and it just was her day. They can't talk to 1,000 people in one evening. Stupid.
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative beyond the scope of the witness's
Grounds.
knowledge.
Grounds.
Also called
Grounds.
speculation.
Grounds.
It's sustained.
Grounds.
Do you remember who the law enforcement officer was that you gave your statement to?
Hell to the no.
He was a detective with the Waukesha, City of Waukesha Police Department. I do not recall his name at this time.
I couldn't remember the police officer when somebody broke into my car and stole my radio. This was back in the day when you had a detachable face radio. Somebody broke in my car and stole my detachable face radio, ripped it right out, and I had to call the police. I could not tell you anything about him, his name, nothing. He even gave me a card. I don't know his name. Don't care. You find the fool that stole my radio. That's what I need you to do. Hey, Cherry. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Bob Kitten. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Patsy. Welcome, welcome. Make sure y'all smashing that like button on your way in or out.
You stated that you don't recall
Look at Opera face.
seeing the path of the traveling vehicle after it had passed you. Would that be fair to say?
I did not see the vehicle once it had traveled beyond my husband's vehicle.
And when you almost ran her over and
Did you
killed
see
her.
it strike anyone at that point?
I saw it strike a person when it was parallel next to my husband's vehicle.
Did you see it strike anyone after that point?
It doesn't matter. She saw you strike someone. Oh, was it somebody after that? Because she didn't see another person striking another person right in her direct eyesight. That means something. That means something. It wasn't as bad as y'all say.
No, I could not see the vehicle past that point.
Did you see the vehicle strike anyone before it got to the location that you were at?
Idiot.
No, I did not.
Idiot. You came when her back was turned to you. So unless she has eyes on the back of her head, or she can do a complete 360 rotation, she couldn't see you. Oh, you smoked? Hey, he smelled his breath. He had to take the mask off. Mask off, mask off.
No, I did not.
Look, he smelled his own nasty. He smelled his own body odor and funk. He had to expel that. He had to get some fresh air because it was probably too much for him. I smelled him through the screen.
Do you recall reading or seeing a complaint in this matter in any way?
Oh, here we go.
Grounds.
Sustained.
A complaint.
To the best of your knowledge, have you filed any claims in this matter?
No, I have not.
Would you consider yourself to be a party to this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevant.
Sustained.
Look at her face. She looked pissed. Come on. Let's get on with it.
Were you aware that it might be
What?
possibility that you would be called to testify in this matter?
Yes. Yes. She was at the parade and saw you run over people. Yes. She probably knew it was a possibility that she could be called to testify. What difference does it make?
Yes, I did.
Were you in fact subpoenaed by anyone to testify in this matter?
No.
Yes, I was.
She came
Do you recall by
voluntarily.
whom?
By the state of Wisconsin.
She said, oh, I don't have anything better to do with my time. I'm going to come voluntarily to court and testify, even though I wouldn't know when the court date is and what time for me to be there. And I hadn't talked to none of the prosecutors. I'm just going to show up and just hope they call me. You know, I'm seeked, SEEKT, to testify. I seeked to testify.
And when you say the state of Wisconsin, who do you refer to? Grounds.
Sustained.
The third party interveners.
Have you had any interactions with the state of Wisconsin? Grounds.
Vague. Sustained.
Well, she lives in the state of Wisconsin. So, generally speaking, yes, she has interactions with the state of Wisconsin because that's where the landmass is that she currently resides, in the state of Wisconsin. Freaking idiot.
You may rephrase if you so choose.
Did you have any phone conversations or
Hey, Sherry.
any physical conversations with the state of Wisconsin?
Oh, yes, yes.
Grounds.
She called the 1-800 number, 1-800 state of Wisconsin. That's how she was able to talk to him. 1-800, I saw a dumb bitch run over people. That's the phone number. Or the 555 or 779-3611. That's what he dialed. She dialed to talk to the state of Wisconsin.
Sustained. You can rephrase if you would like.
777-9311.
Do you even know the state of Wisconsin?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative.
Grounds.
She looking like, what the hell is he talking about?
It would be fair to say, based on your testimony, that you were in fact called to testify by the state of Wisconsin.
Objection asked and answered.
Grounds. I didn't even finish the question. Now the grounds on that.
Finish your question and then I'll rule.
Oh, the jury
Seeing
loves
as
you.
how that you were called to testify by the state of Wisconsin, it would be fair to say that
Fair to
you've
say.
actually saw the state of Wisconsin.
Objection.
Grounds.
Vague.
Grounds.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain. You're not going to answer? Okay, you're not
To
asking.
the best of your knowledge, would the state of Wisconsin be the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Grounds.
Stupid.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Now the grounds for the sustain.
Sustained.
Your Honor, with all due respect, the jury needs
Next
to know
question.
this. They deserve to know this.
Next question.
Well, the offer said what the grounds were. If you hadn't been screaming grounds, 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 you would have heard it. It's irrelevant and vague. Help him, God. 777-9311.
Are you aware that,
Come on.
to the best of your knowledge, are you aware that
Come on.
for a case, there has to be an injured party?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Lies.
Sustained.
As you said, the state of Wisconsin called you to testify. Did they at any time identify themselves as an injured party in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Reason for the sustain, Your Honor?
Continue, Mr. Brooks.
Any reason for the sustain?
It's sustained.
May I have the grounds, Your Honor?
Keep going, Mr. Brooks.
This is information that the jury deserves to know, Your Honor.
The jury is the judge of the facts only, and the court is the judge of the law. Keep going, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, AO, stain, SUB, stain, STAIN, substain. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, substain. That's a dusty Darrellism. Substain.
No further questions.
No, that's
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Shuffling papers back and forth.
You may call your next witness.
Thank you. The state will then call Adam Bone Steel.
Good morning, Mr. Bonesteel. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right. It is up a riser. When you get there, please remain standing, raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, who's on my left across from you, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
First name is Adam. Last name is Bonesteel. ADAM.
Oh, thank you, James.
BONESTEEL.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Mr. Bone Steel, thank you for being here this morning, sir. I want to ask you about the events of November 21 of 2021, okay?
Yes.
Were you participating in the Waukesha Christmas parade that afternoon, sir?
Yes.
And what was your role in the parade?
I was driving the float for Citizens Bank.
And your wife Stephanie works for the bank, is that right?
Yes, I was volunteering with her and the rest of the family.
Right. And you said you were driving the float, is that right?
That is correct.
Were you driving a vehicle pulling a trailer with the float on it, or?
I was driving a Suburban pulling the trailer.
Okay. So you have a full-size Chevy Suburban,
Yes.
which is like a large SUV,
2019.
Uh-oh.
full-size SUV.
Oh, 2019 versus a 2010. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
And the float was on the trailer behind you.
Correct.
Okay. Did you know about how long the trailer was or the approximate size?
12 by, I would say 8 feet by 12 feet.
Okay. Now, when the parade started out, were you alone in the car?
No,
Who was with you?
I had a 6-year-old daughter of one of the employees with me. She was in the passenger seat.
Okay. And other than
Damn. So that means the 6-year-old witnessed the Jane Kulik on the hood of the car. A 6-year-old. Man.
that, you were alone in your car with her?
Her and I were in the vehicle, just us two.
Okay.
Poor baby.
Were you playing any loud music as part of your group's presentation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you remember if you had the windows on your vehicle
Look
up
at
or
him.
down?
Look at him. What the hell is this? This supposed to intimidate somebody? This supposed to scare somebody? Look at his body language. Look how he's staring. He always does this, trying to intimidate somebody. But nobody is scared of a little fake ass Napoleon running around killing folks.
The window on my side, driver's side window was down.
Baby man.
On her side, it was slightly down.
Okay.
Girly man.
And do you remember during the parade something unusual that your attention was drawn toward?
Objection.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
Along the route,
Yes.
yes. It would be important to note that the groups got spread out.
Okay.
And it happens in parades where one's going faster and the others are going slower, and we got left kind of in the middle. We had a lot more people, walking. And so there was a gap. The dance crew behind us was a good half a block behind us. The dancing grannies in front of us were about another half a block in front of us.
Okay.
Driving in the parade, I generally, want to know where my walkers are, so I'm always in my mirrors, watching my speed. They come up, they grab candy off the trailer to throw to the crowd. So, you have to be very alert.
Okay. Now, you've driven in parades before.
Yes.
Because you're a good husband.
Yes.
Okay. And
Oh, yeah, objection. I know you would object to that because A, you would never be a husband. 2, you wouldn't be a good husband. You weren't even a good father. You're not a good boyfriend. You threatened everybody. You weren't a good baby daddy. You're not even a good son. You're not a good uncle. You're just a piece of shit all the way around. From the rooter to the tutor, you are a piece of shit.
Go
ahead. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, what is this? Yeah, the jury's gonna love this. They
Would
love
you say
all
that
of this.
Consistent with your practice, did you do that in this float? You're constantly aware of what your surroundings were and people walking with your group.
Yes.
People ahead of you and the people behind you as well.
Correct.
Okay. Do you know downtown Waukesha pretty good or okay or
No.
not very good at all?
No.
Okay.
No, you messed up my theory.
Do you know the parade route?
I did know the route, but I couldn't tell you cross streets. I can't tell you, those specifics.
Sure.
Boo. You ruined my theory.
Do you know where you were along the route when the trouble happened?
Well, I know the landmark would be the nice ash bar that was basically we were in front of where we were in that block when things transpired, just because they took us in when businesses were locking down. My vehicle got basically blocked in by emergency vehicles.
Okay.
I was not able to leave.
Sure.
And, when everything was going on, they basically took our group in. I started packing up like I could leave, getting the float packed up and just wanting to get my family home.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where police officers came by as they were taping off the area and said, you can't be here.
Okay.
So my vehicle ended up staying there overnight.
Okay.
Because it was in a
So
crime
let's go back
scene.
to the point where
Hey, Munchkin.
you noticed something was going on in the parade.
So we had started, the parade route had gotten, with our groups kind of separated. I noticed when I had looked out my driver's side mirror that I saw headlights behind me. And I remember thinking briefly, what's the dance guy doing behind me? Why is he so far off to the left?
Okay.
Basically, when that thought was over, I heard the roar of an engine. And I was watching
A
in
raggedy
my
engine.
side mirror and saw a woman running kind of towards the corner of my vehicle, the back corner, in between, let's say by the tongue of the trailer, and we're trying to get to that point of my vehicle.
Okay.
And then saw the impact and heard it, as well as the roar of an engine.
Okay. Let's just break that down a little bit. Okay. So first you notice the headlights, then you hear the engine and you see a person running. Did you know who it was at that instant?
No.
Okay.
I had no idea who the person was.
Could you tell it was a member of your group?
Yes.
How could you tell that?
They had the red cloaks on.
Okay. So then you said you heard something?
Oh, yeah, I heard and saw the impact.
Tell us about
You
that,
ever
please.
heard a car hit another car or an abutment or a deer? If anybody's ever hit a deer with their car, you've heard it. I watched the body fly up onto the hood.
Listen to this, y'all.
And her head snapped back. and the body remained on the hood as it passed the side of my vehicle to where I thought I could have just reached out and grabbed her.
So this happened that close to you.
Yes,
You saw all this with your own two eyes.
yes,
Did the car continue past you?
yes.
Where did it go?
The car veered kind of in front of me. I saw brake lights and saw what was Jane fall off the hood. He proceeded to, and she was basically on the right side of his vehicle, and he proceeded to run her over with the right front tire, then the right rear tire. And at that point, I was just focused on the body on the ground, but I remember hearing the roar of the engine again. And
Because he accelerated.
How fast were you going?
2 miles an hour,
How fast would you estimate the other vehicle was going?
30.
Did you get a description of that other car?
It was red,
That's all you know?
like a box type back end. That's all I know. That's all.
Y'all, the 6-year-old saw this. The 6-year-old. Can you just imagine how traumatizing that is? 6.
So I thought my wife was the woman on the car. So you see your whole life going by you, in what you think is an act of terror because you don't know what's going on. And then a body's laying on the ground. And at that point, that was my only focus. My vehicle, I threw it in park and ran to decipher if this was really who I think it is.
Okay.
But see, Darrell wouldn't do none of that because he don't give 2 flying damns about anybody but himself. And if his own child, the daddy's girl, if his own child got ran over, the bitch wouldn't stop. He would have ran her over.
Details of which direction the vehicle went after that, I cannot tell you. I'm sorry. It was tunnel vision right to the ground.
Of course. You do distinctly remember, though, seeing the red vehicle that you've described roll over the person on the ground.
Yes.
With both tires.
Yes.
Let's show you an item that's been marked as Exhibit 46, please. And we're going to put it up for you first and have you take a look at it.
Come on, objection. You know what's coming.
So is it up on your screen, sir?
Yep.
Hey,
And
Chair.
right now, the video is not playing. It's frozen on the first frame. You see that?
Yep.
Do you recognize what you're looking at here, sir?
Yep.
What are you looking at?
It appears to be Jane on the ground.
Is that what she looked like when you ran up to her?
She was on her side, face down. Yeah.
I'm going to ask
Those are the pants. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he
I'm gonna
looks terrified.
have my assistant play this video through for you. It's a total length of 15 seconds, okay?
Yes.
I want you to watch it, and then I'll have some questions for you, okay?
Come on. The true nature and cause of the charges.
Okay.
He looks like he want to
Mr.
cry.
Bonesteel, did you see yourself in that video?
Yes, I did.
Do you believe this video is a true and accurate representation of the events as you ran up to Jane on the
Yes.
street? Move to admit 46 and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Objection.
Exhibit 46 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
For the record, Your Honor.
You're an idiot.
All right.
You don't see this. You don't see this white lady right here. You don't see her typing. She typing the record, sir.
So, Mr. Bonesteel, in this frame, I don't see you in this frame yet, correct?
That's correct.
But we do see Jane laying there on the road, correct?
That's correct.
She's got the red top and the black plaid pants. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and play it all the way through, 15 seconds at normal speed. That's you right there in the khaki pants at the 6-second mark.
That is correct. Black sweatshirt.
That's you right there at the end. Sunglasses on your head. Okay.
Was that a yes?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir.
I'm tired
Do you
of
know
Clown
if,
Demon's facial expressions.
medical assistance was provided to Jane?
I do not.
What happened?
Once I realized that it wasn't Steph, I ran back to find her and the kids.
To protect his
And I
family.
found them
Yeah.
back by the vehicle.
Okay.
After I had found them, my next thought was, oh my God, Addison's behind us. That's my daughter's good friend. And another friend was also there. And I ran back to find her.
With the extreme dance group?
Yes.
Okay. Did you find those girls?
I found Addison, Sam.
Cherry, no, there were Black people there. I've seen some in the video where they were like, we in Wisconsin. There was some Black people there. I'm going to say, I don't think that he plans out things in order to have targeted the parade. I think that he was mad at Erica. He was enraged about Corey Runkle and whatever his name was. I don't know why I can't ever remember his name. He was enraged, and he was told that the police are coming, and he tried to flee. And he has a history of doing impulsive things like this. So I don't think that he was smart enough or organized enough to go and plan out running over people in the parade. I just don't believe it, that he's that, he's sneaky and evil, but I don't think that he's that intelligent. But there were white people, Black people there. It wasn't that many, but it was some of us. We everywhere, okay? We everywhere. We on the four corners of the earth. We everywhere.
Had been struck.
What's Sam's last name?
Coelho.
Okay.
I asked Addison
We're looking confused.
if she wanted to come with us. Her mother was actually waiting at the end of the parade route, so she was in route.
Thank you, Nick Kirby.
To get her. But
Okay.
then I went back to my family and the rest of the group that we were in the parade with, and at that point the nice ash barn was taking them in.
Annie, is he really smart enough to represent himself? Is he really that smart? Really? I'm just asking a question. This is what he did was the opposite of smart, because he needed attorneys. He needed somebody else to speak on his behalf. This was the dumbest shit ever. It's great TV, but it was stupid as hell. Oh, thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
And then I was just focused on getting out of
I'm good, Tina. How are you? Welcome.
Did
He definitely wanted to hurt Erica.
Did
He
you
tried to kill
learn
Erica.
later that Jane passed away due to her injuries from this collision?
We did learn that later. My gut feeling in that was that she had passed.
You mean when you went up and saw her?
Yes.
You felt she was either dead or close to death?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions for you.
All right, here come the foolishness. Fuckery time.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
I do.
Okay, it's time for another Academy Award performance from Dusty Darrell. Ooh. Bruh, you can stop. You can stop right there. Oh, now when this video was being played, he didn't do all of this. That would have been the appropriate time to do this, but you didn't do it. So now it's time for you to try and act in front of the jury. And guess what? They wasn't going. They wasn't going. And we not going. Hey, Shannon. We not going.
I apologize. I just
What?
needed a quick second.
Okay. I believe you. I love the zoom in. The wheels on the bus go round and round. You're thinking, what can I do? What can I say to make them think that I care? To make them think I give a shit about any of this? What can I do? What can I say? What? I want them to believe that I care. Like, remember in the interrogation where he was like, I can't believe that you don't think that I give a fuck. You just said that I don't give a fuck. I just can't believe that you said that. Come on. You're praying, you're smelling your breath. What we doing? Hold it together, he said. Ooh. Quit breathing so hard. You're going to kill yourself.
At some point in your testimony, you stated that you heard, or rather you saw brake lights. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that means it wasn't
To the
intentional.
best of your knowledge, what would be the only time you would see brake lights on a vehicle?
The point right before Jane fell off.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking.
Uh-oh. Woo. So otherwise, he didn't break. He broke only when Jane was on the hood of the car and you braked to get her off. And then you ran her over. You are so bitch made.
You misunderstood my question.
No, he understood.
If you were driving a vehicle, would it be fair to say that the only time anyone would see brake lights would be if you hit the brake?
You did.
If the driver hit the brakes, the brake lights would go on the vehicle.
So it would be fair to say that the only way that you would see brake lights would be if the driver of the vehicle hit the brakes.
That's what the hell he said.
That would be correct.
But bitch, you didn't hit the brakes to stop after you hit her. You didn't hit the brakes to get out of the car and check on her. No, you hit the brakes to get her off the hood and then proceeded to run her over. Why is this so hard for him to understand? Why? Why?
You did state in your testimony that you did not get a look at the driver. Would that be fair to say?
That was never part of my testimony.
Nobody
had asked me that question.
Are
you asking me that question if I had seen the driver?
I do recall you saying that you did not see the driver. So I guess that's
in my
that's the answer to the question. He didn't see the driver. Oh, stop. I can't.
Testimony?
Yes.
Oh.
Hold on. He's going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask that you answer that, okay?
Okay.
So go ahead, ask your question.
Did you at any time see the driver of the vehicle?
No.
So it wasn't you.
You did testify to when you were describing what you saw, you referred to the driver as he.
Yes.
Any reason why you would refer to the driver as he if you did not see the driver of the vehicle?
That would be like the proverbial we.
or in textbooks that we've seen all our lives, they always, well, they sometimes they say she, but they normally say he. It's a collective he. It's a nebulous, non real person. Is to give you the concept of the person, but they say he. Stop.
Well, there's males, there's females.
Really?
There's
males and there's females. Really? I thought it was something else other than male and female. Really?
singles and there are togethers. I mean, when you say we, it's the proverbial we.
It's the collective.
Collectively, he would be
a hypothetical
along
person.
those lines as well.
It's hypothetical.
Is it fair to say that you could have just answered as we instead of he?
Oh.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question, sir.
Because there were multiple people in the vehicle. So it could have been we because he couldn't see inside the vehicle. Gotcha.
Out of grounds on that.
It's argumentative. Rephrase your question.
He didn't drink about 12 bottles of water.
Any reason why you would answer that question as he?
He just told you.
Irrelevant. Argumentative.
Grounds.
Asked and answered. Sustained.
Idiot. There are males and females. Hey, BM.
Were you able to get a license plate of the vehicle?
Oh, license.
No, I was not. I was focused, like I had said, on the body on the ground.
Because he thought it was his wife.
So I did not get the license plate.
After the vehicle had passed the vehicle that you were in, did you see the vehicle strike anyone after that point?
I did not see the vehicle strike anyone after the vehicle had passed me, other than driving over, like I had stated, the body that it had already struck.
You dummy.
Did you observe the vehicle strike anyone while it was approaching your position?
Clarify your question, please.
Did you observe the vehicle strike anyone while it was approaching your position?
Yes, I saw it hit Jane.
Uh-oh!
While it was approaching you?
While it was coming
or
up.
Your vehicle, rather?
Yes.
Yes! Uh-oh! Look at him. He looking like idiot. Why are you asking me these questions? This is not helping you. You are helping the prosecution. He said he saw you hit Jane. And the vehicle was approaching. Oh. And I love that Bone's still petty. I love it.
Did you observe the vehicle strike anyone else in that moment?
No, just Jane.
Oh, that makes it better. That makes it all the better. It was just one. There's only one that he saw that he almost killed. I mean, that he did kill, excuse me. So it wasn't that bad.
And you said you went into a building called the Nice Ash after that moment?
That is correct.
Do you recall about how long you were in the Nice Ash?
No, they were timing it.
Hour and a half, maybe. I would pop in and out because I was trying to wrap up the float and get us out of there. And then once I was told that I cannot touch my vehicle nor the float anymore because the area was deemed a crime scene. We went back in and made a plan on how we were going to get all of us home and then proceeded to leave. But businesses, I believe, were locked down, so no one could get in and out. They were locking their doors. Every time I went out, they would ask me, knock on the door, because we're locking it.
Do you recall about what time it was at that moment?
Oh Lord, who cares?
No, these are thoughts that you don't think about when you've been through something like this.
Correct.
I didn't sit there and note down times.
Thank you.
I'm not trained in this.
Do you recall if it was still daytime or nighttime?
Well, the parade started around 4:30, so it gets, and it was cloudy, so it was dusk. I mean, city lights were on.
Dusk again.
Emergencies vehicles, when they were pulling up, you know, you saw the sirens, you know, on the streets. You saw it was dusk. It was getting dark.
Would it be fair to say from the Exhibit 46 video that you were showing that it was pretty clear?
What point are you trying to make? He just said it was dusk, but he saw. So you're trying to say that you should have seen me? It was pretty clear. You should be saying that it was hard to see you. You're saying it was pretty clear. Are you kidding me?
Again,
Idiot.
wasn't focusing on the sky.
To agree or disagree, the video or that you saw was clear. That was the question.
The video, the clarity of the video, or the skies? Please clarify
that
your
it
question.
was pretty much still daytime. You can see everything pretty clear. Everything was.
You can see, yes, it was clear. It was dusk. Lights were coming on. If the city lights, street lights were coming on.
This is so stupid. And don't vehicles have headlights?
Lights coming on, but not the driver of the vehicle.
I think that's been answered, Your Honor.
Objection grounds.
Objection grounds.
Overruled. He may answer.
I can remember lights coming on because they are stationary. The vehicle was traveling past me at a rate of speed with a woman that I thought was my wife on the vehicle.
Oh.
Was not really paying attention to who was driving the vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Again.
So would it be fair to say you were paying attention to the lights?
No.
I can't.
So what would lead you to believe that they were in fact coming on at that time?
Because he uses eyes.
The video that
Hold on. There's an objection. I have to rule on it first. That's okay. The objection is sustained. Next question, sir.
No, he didn't hit his wife. He hit Jane Kulik. But he thought it was his wife.
Do you recall the duration of time that you saw the brake lights?
No, I do not.
But you did in fact see brake lights.
Correct.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
Yes, briefly. Sir, after you saw brake lights, did you see the SUV or the red vehicle that you described ever come to a complete stop?
No.
Objection.
Did you?
Well, there's been an objection. It's overruled. His answer may stand.
Opera so annoyed.
Did you at any time see the driver of the vehicle pull over, stop, and get out to investigate what he or she had just struck?
Objection.
Overruled.
Ha!
No.
Did you ever see the vehicle come to a complete stop at any time?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Oh, he got one.
That's all.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
He got one. Good deal. The baby got one of the answers correct.
Statement called. Next witness.
Here he goes shuffling papers again.
Call Heather Rashadi.
The state of Palm Springs, the state of Palm Matt Harris.
Matt Harris. All right. Thank you.
I like that pink on beige.
Harris,
It's
thank you
cute.
for making your way up to the. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat.
Yes, a monkey is
First thing I will have you do is to
Can type the
state your
grapes of
first
wrath.
and last names for the record and then spell each.
Matthew Harris, Matthew Harris.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, I'm going to draw your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you at the Waukesha Christmas Parade on that date?
I was.
And were you a spectator? Were you a participant?
Spectator.
Who were you with?
There was a large group of friends and some family in that group.
So did you bring your family?
I brought my 2 daughters.
Okay. And was your wife there?
My wife was not there.
Okay. And how about just generally, approximately how many people were with your group?
I think our group had about 19 or 20 between kids and adults.
And where were you sitting or standing to view the parade?
We were right on the corner of Main Street in Clinton, right in front of the Steaming Cup.
Okay. I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 51. It's going to display in the front of you on your screen. If you can just let me know when it's displayed in front of you.
Yes.
Does that accurately depict the corner that you were at to watch the Christmas parade?
It does.
I would ask the court to admit it into evidence and to publish it to the jury.
Objection.
What is this particular exhibit?
What?
Overruled.
What?
Exhibit, I'm sorry, can I have the number again? Is it 51?
51.
Exhibit 51 is receipt permission to publish is granted.
Sir, the screen in front of you is a touch screen. So can you kind of put maybe a circle around the area that the 19 people that you were with kind of encompassed?
Pretty much this whole corner.
Okay. And were you standing, sitting?
Standing.
Was everyone standing?
Everyone was standing.
And there's a curb. Were you guys up on the curb and the bump out, or were any of the people that were watching with your group in the street?
Most of the children were sort of in the front area on the curb and out into the street, and most.
He does object to exhibits that make him look bad. However, he already looks bad. Just his appearance looks bad. He needs to blame God for that. That's an issue for him and God, because apparently spare parts were used to create him. His mama should have swallowed him, if you know what I mean, back when she mated with the animal that created him.
Most of the adults that sort of huddled behind.
I'm assuming that the purpose is candy's handed out, so the kids got it first.
Sure,
okay.
correct.
And where were you, if you look at that circle, were you, as we're looking at the diagram, towards the right of that circle, which would be east, or were you to the left of the circle, which would be west?
And I'm drawing on this a lot. Probably right here in the back, towards right in the middle.
And how about your kids?
Right out here in the front.
Thank you. And were there other people as you were standing looking at the street? Which way is the parade coming? Is it coming from, as you're looking at the street, your left down to your right? If you draw an arrow.
Right, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yep.
And
yep.
Approximately what time did you get there? Do you know?
He should have been in
We had
the tissue.
most of us had just come from a soccer game in Brookfield, so I think we got there probably right before it started, 3:45, 3:50. I believe it started at 4.
So again, there were there a lot of people in to the right and to the left of you, spectators?
It was pretty packed.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Thank you. At some point, you can take this exhibit down. At some point, did you hear some type of commotion?
I did.
Do you know where in the parade route, like what floats had just gone through, or what floats were in front of you? Did you?
Yeah, I didn't recall at the time what float was about to come in front of us, but I do know that the dancing grannies had just passed us.
Okay.
And then that's when I heard the commotion, an audible gasp, There was a large vehicle kind of blocking our view of what was coming, kind of obscured anything. And then that's when I saw a red SUV from the north side come around in front of that vehicle. It headed straight for that corner where our children were, so it was kind of coming dead on at us. And then at the last second, kind of clipped that corner and then veered off, and I saw it continue on.
Continue on.
The Dancing Grannies group.
So as you were looking to your left, which would be, and I'm horrible at directions, it would be
so he saw the vehicle approaching. He saw the vehicle approaching.
East. As you were looking there, when you said you heard a gas?
Yeah, like an audible gasp, commotion, just in eerie sound of not parade sounds, just a loud, like, draws your attention to something is going on.
Mortal terror.
Again, there was a large vehicle right there.
Mortal terror.
The large vehicle that you're describing was part of the parade?
Correct.
Approximately how far to your left, as you're looking at the parade, was the vehicle when you first saw it, the red SUV that you've described?
Hold on, there's been an objection. I was mid-question, so if you could just re-ask it, I didn't hear it all.
Approximately how far from your position was the red SUV when you first saw it?
Objection.
It would have been.
Oh.
There's been no objection to that, so he may answer.
Okay.
It would have been on, I believe that's the south side of the street, so maybe 30 feet.
So you first saw it approximately 30 feet to your left, and it would have been on the opposite side of the road from where you were seated.
Yeah, just on the other side of the large vehicle, that Suburban that was there.
So on the driver's side or the passenger
Driver's
side?
side.
Thank you. So the vehicle comes on the driver's side of that car that was in the parade. What do you see next?
I saw it come along the side of it, and then once it cleared that vehicle, it made it which would have been a right-hand turn right towards our corner. I remember having a split second of what is going on, and then I remember screaming, "Get back," because all of our children were right there. It came through, it veered off, and my immediate thought was he hit something in the front there and then continued off. I would say the parents, mostly the dads, kind of ran up there and kind of check on the children. And I recall at that moment, after a second pause, looking down the road to see where it was going. My immediate thought was to kind of run after it. And then I realized I had an injured child and a 3-year-old as well that was there. I distinctly remember seeing 2 victims laying in the street, and then I looked up the other way where I had come, and I saw a woman with plaid pajamas lying in the street up the road, and that's when I grabbed my daughter, grabbed her to pull her back.
You're still looking confused.
You said that you looked to your right and you saw 2 other people in the roadway.
Hey, Kimberly.
Were they from your group or were they from a different group?
This was after probably 3 to 4 seconds in duration. It was advanced up into the Dancing Grannies group that had just passed us.
Could you tell the path of travel as you said it was heading towards your corner and then it veered away? Do you recall? Can you describe that?
Yeah, it veered away and then headed right back, continued down Main Street, seemingly right down the middle of the road.
And did you see it impact the grannies, or did you just see bodies after the car went through them?
The victims on the ground.
Sure, do me a favor. Try to wait until she's fully asked the question. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking, just so that the record is clear. Thank you so much.
That record will never be clear.
How old are the children, your children that were at the parade?
My children at the time was 7, and my youngest was 3.
And you indicated, if I can have Exhibit 51 back up.
Y'all know his breath stink because he hadn't been to no dentist. He hadn't been clean. Look at him.
Again, if you can put an X approximately where you were standing.
I believe I was standing sort of right back there a little bit on the sidewalk.
Okay. And your 7-year-old was approximately where? And your 3-year-old?
She had just come back by me a few minutes prior, so she was back by me.
She was up on the curb.
He got great
And the
chicken
path of
teeth.
travel as the vehicle came towards you, can you put an arrow approximately where you think it was veering from and where it was going towards?
Speculative.
Overruled.
I believe it was coming right at us and then quickly went that way.
Thank you. Were you able to estimate how fast the car was going?
Faster than normal speed limit on that road, I would say 25 to 30 miles per hour.
Darrell is even ugly on the phone.
Did you hear a horn honking prior to it coming up on your group?
I did not.
Did the vehicle stop? Strike that. Were any people that were with your group injured?
Yes.
Who was injured?
My daughter, my 7-year-old daughter, had her foot ran over, her left foot. Broke 4 toes and also her tibia and fibula in her leg. And then there was another friend of ours, younger daughter, who was next to her. I believe she got sideswiped from the vehicle with some face damage. Sorry.
And what was that that girl's last name?
Knapp.
Knapp?
Correct.
And your 7-year-old, what is her name?
Brinley.
Brinley?
Correct.
Okay. Did you said that there was something with her tibia and
Fibula. Correct.
fibula. Were they broken
They were
or?
broken.
Ah!
Yes, sorry. They were
Okay,
broken.
sorry. What did you do?
Went at that moment.
Right after the car went past your
Yep.
daughter.
So we leaped up. My daughter was crying. Many of the children were crying. We were trying to triage through and just seeing who was injured, and because it came that close. And again, I had looked down, kind of just assessed the situation a little bit. I had grabbed my daughter, had set her back on the curb a little bit. Grabbed my oldest daughter, sorry, with the injuries. I grabbed my 3-year-old and set them there as well.
3.
And then at some point, a few moments later, got them. The other parents were lining up the children on the side of Clinton Street, on the side of the steaming cup, over in this area. So we eventually moved the kids back there.
Did you take Ridley that evening for medical care?
I did not.
Okay. How did you know that she had broken toes?
So
Hey, California
there's a
dreamer.
couple variables that came into play there. We did not know at the moment. I knew that she had a foot injury, and I did the typical dad thing, and I downplayed the initial injury. I carried her to the car
To protect his daughter and protect her innocence.
At the time of walking to the car, as a leader at Pro Healthcare where I work, I got an alert that the hospital was on lockdown. So my initial thought was to take her up to the hospital myself. Her acuity versus other victims laying in the road didn't warrant her waiting for an ambulance, and I could take her. At that time, when I got the lockdown notice on my phone, I decided to call my wife, who is a nurse practitioner in urgent care at the time. And I said, you're going to want to check this out. She was almost done with her shift anyways. We live 15 minutes from the house, so we kind of convened there. She looked at it and decided to take her in at that moment.
So what foot was run over?
Her left foot.
When she, after the car drove over her foot, did
Dead
she still
eyes.
have her shoe on?
She had, no, both shoes had come off somehow, but we lost one eventually, and then the other one, we found one.
Were you able to look at specifically the left shoe after the car went past?
I was.
Overruled.
Stop it.
I did see the shoe later on. I think it was the next morning when we kind of had a chance to collect ourselves, and I recall seeing a tread mark across her shoes.
Would that be consistent with the tire mark?
It would be.
So the right shoe was unable to be located that night, correct?
Correct.
And the left shoe you did find, and that's what you took home with you?
Correct.
Why are you looking like that,
Now, you
sir?
said that at the time you didn't feel that your daughter should be taken by ambulance because of what you were seeing. Can you describe to the jury what you were seeing?
Just mass chaos. Nothing like I'm a combat veteran. I've been around mass hysteria most of my career, and I had never seen anything like this in such a safe environment where it was just hysteria, screams, sirens everywhere, just and unknowing, are there other vehicles coming down? Like what is actually going on here? So it was just an odd, eerie feeling for a very long period there.
And you had indicated you had seen a woman with plaid pants.
It seemed like pajama pants. Correct.
Okay. To the left of you.
Correct.
And did you see her being treated?
I saw many individuals standing around her. I know that one of the parents in our group is a physician. I believe she went on to render aid somewhere. I don't know if it was her or not, but I remember seeing a large presence around that woman.
And then did you see any bodies to the right of your position?
Yes, that's where I saw two within which would have been part of the dancing granny group. I don't know if they were the grannies or not at the time. I just knew that there were two people laying on the ground.
Look at him.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 15.
Come on, cocker pants.
And I'm just going to have it viewed in front of you initially. Do you recognize generally this map?
I do.
And do you see the position that you and your family were on November 21st of last year?
I do.
And do you see your daughter's name in a box that's above the word steaming cup?
I do.
And it's connected to a star that's orange in color?
Correct.
Is that the approximate location of where you and your family were when your daughter was run over?
That
Your foot
is.
was run over? May I publish it to the jury? It's previously been admitted.
Objection.
Again, showing the jury States Exhibit 15. If you can circle the orange star that's associated with where your daughter was struck. Thank you. And the approximate location that you observed the woman to your left.
Overruled.
Stop it.
And to your right.
Brinley is right here.
Next, I want to show you what has been.
Before you move on, I just want the record to reflect, because it wasn't screen captured, that the stars that he circled on Exhibit 15.
Hey, Overdrive.
Actually, sir, before, so we can capture it, can you again circle the area where you and your family were?
What?
Overruled. He may do it again since it was cleared before we captured it.
And then the area where you saw a body down on the ground?
Yes, AL. The ones that are in red were the ones that were killed.
And that's you.
And everybody in
indicated she had
green
plaid
are
pants,
injured.
or it was a woman who had plaid pants?
Plaid, looked like pajama pants.
Okay. Do you recall what else she was wearing?
I don't.
Okay. And then to your right. Okay. And that would be the circles, if we can save that and mark it as 15. Okay.
Remember, he said he was going to kill himself.
I think we're on B as well. It'll be marked as Exhibit B.
Thank you.
Sorry, 15B.
And where you marked the circle to your left, that was associated with the same place where there's a name Jane Kulik?
Yes.
Overruled.
And where you circled to the right, there are 7 different names under dancing grannies. Is that fair?
Overruled. Give me an answer.
Yes.
Thank you.
But he go
I
mumbling.
didn't hear the last part that you said, Mr. Brooks. Are you withdrawing that?
No, I'm not.
What did you say then?
I said it's pretty obvious from the picture. It's leading the witness.
What?
All right, your objections noted. It's overruled. His answers may stand.
Thank you. Sir, I'm next going to show you Exhibit 49, which is a video. I'm first going to have it played. Or
How can it be obvious that the witness is being led when then it's
put in front of you on your screen. If you can just let me know when you see a depiction on that screen.
I see it.
And you saw first couple seconds of that. Let me play it one more time and then ask you if you recognize that.
Take me to the king.
I stopped it at 3 seconds. And do you recognize that area?
I do.
What is that area?
That's the corner right in front of People's Park where we were at the parade.
Okay. And you had said, is People's Park across from Steaming Cup?
Oh, sorry, Steaming Cup. Yeah, People's Park is directly across from Steaming Cup.
And that would have been the corner that you were located with your family?
At the Steaming Cup corner. Right.
And do you see yourself depicted in this video?
I do.
Do you believe it accurately represents what you observed that day and what you did?
I do.
I would ask that Exhibit 49 be admitted into evidence.
Objection.
To the jury.
Yep.
For the record, how long is the video clip?
It is 8 seconds.
All right, thank you. Exhibit 49 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Thank you.
Noted for the record, Your Honor.
Shut up.
Okay, if we can play it starting at 0, going through the entire 8 seconds.
We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up.
Thank you. And you stated that you did see yourself in that video?
I did.
Going to the initial screen of that video, which would be at 0 seconds.
For a saint is just a sinner who fell down.
Do you
We
see
get
yourself
up.
in, it's at 0 seconds, do you see yourself in this still frame?
Yes.
Can you circle, again, using the touch screen, where you are? And are you carrying Brindley?
I am.
Carry his baby after you ran her over. Just trash.
Thank you. You can clear the screen. And next I would like to show just you on Exhibit 50.
Dusty trash.
And see if you recognize this intersection as it plays through for approximately 5 seconds.
Baby, he need to let that hair go. He need to let it go.
Do you recognize that as being the intersection you and your family were at?
Just forward of our location, yes.
So as you're looking at this, would it be, as you're looking at the screen to the left?
Sustained is in the form of.
Oh, he got another one.
Rephrase.
He got
Where would
two.
you and your family have been in relationship to this, where this video was taken?
To the left.
Okay. And the person taking the video, are they on the same side of the street as you are or a different side?
Hearsay.
Overruled.
Looks to be
Answer.
the same side as our street.
Okay. And you just saw the dancing grannies go through?
Correct.
Does that accurately depict what you observed prior to the car coming through the parade?
Yes.
Okay. I would ask the court to admit exhibit number 50 and ask that it be published for the jury.
Objection.
Your objection is noted. Exhibit 50 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
So we're going to start at 0 and just go through the 11 seconds. And I'll ask you questions about the video if you want.
Oh, look at the little baby. Look at that.
Sir, is that the red SUV that you previously described as striking your daughter?
Uh-oh.
It is.
And that white vehicle that you...
Oh, I'm trying to... Let me slow it down. Y'all know I do a slow down. Look at baby girl right here in the purple pants. Look. hold on.
Sir, is that the red SUV that you
put it back in normal speed.
previously described as striking your daughter?
It is.
And that white vehicle that you saw in that frame, was that the vehicle that you saw that was impeding your ability to see it initially, or is
That
that
fool
different?
ain't no real blood.
Overruled. You may answer.
I believe that was a different vehicle.
Okay. And was that the path of travel that you observed that vehicle take, which was on the north side? Thank you. North side of the street.
She did look
Yes.
cute and
And
happy.
after it passed that intersection, you indicated that it went towards the middle and into the grannies.
It felt like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, any questions for this witness?
Yes. Just 1 second.
Oh, please. Look, he pulled up to the scene with a ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. He let this shit go. Let it go.
Do you remember what time it was when you observed the vehicle?
I don't recall the specific time I saw a red SUV.
Because he was looking at his watch at that exact moment to know the time.
You stated earlier that you saw the vehicle clip the corner. Would that be fair to say?
I saw it clip the corner of where the children were standing, correct?
And what do you mean by clip?
You don't know what
Come
clip
into
means?
contact with children that were in the front of that group of kids.
Uh-oh.
Is that how you would define clip?
That's my definition of clip, correct?
You stated also that it veered quickly away from, I'm guessing, that corner. What do you mean by veered quickly away?
The vehicle at one point was coming straight at us, and then the next moment it was heading 45 degrees back on the original route. So it quickly turned to get back onto the street. Otherwise it would have come onto the corner, onto that intersection at Clinton Street.
So it's fair to say if the vehicle did not quickly veer, as you say, it would have ran right into the people on the corner.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't that bad again, because even though he was charging his vehicle at him and his kids and ran over the kid's foot, that he veered away and didn't hit the rest of the kids. Well, that is wonderful. You are so benevolent. You are so kind. You is kind, you is smart, and you is wonderful, because you didn't hit all the children. You only ran over one.
That's a fair statement.
Hey, TKO.
Is it also a fair statement to assume that the vehicle veered quickly away from that because it didn't want to strike the people on their corner?
Lies.
Grounds.
Speculation.
Grounds.
Sustained. Calls for speculation on the part of this witness.
Lies.
In your opinion, why would the vehicle have quickly veered?
Objection again.
Grounds.
Speculation.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Uh-oh.
Speculation.
They messed up your questions.
If you were driving the vehicle and were able at any time to see people directly in your path, would you veer away?
I'm guessing the answer is going to be, I would have stopped my vehicle. Let's see.
Objection relevance for this
Grounds.
trial.
Relevance.
Sustained.
Uh-oh.
Can I have the grounds for the sustain?
Relevance. She just told you.
It's not relevant for this witness to answer that question. Calls for a hypothetical that he has not been qualified to answer. So it's also on foundation grounds.
Come on, make the jury love you now. Come on. Come on. Make them love you.
Did you get a look at the driver of the vehicle?
I recall looking into the window, but my memory doesn't put a face to that or an image to that, so no.
Uh-oh.
Did you get the license plate number of the vehicle?
In place.
No.
You see any tents on the vehicle?
Tents.
That you recall?
No, I was not paying attention to the vehicle.
Tents as in plural. Tents.
After it came down barreling up the children, my eyes, tunnel vision to the kids.
Ah.
So it'd be fair to say that.
Huh? Come on.
With you focusing on the kids, it would be difficult to describe the vehicle at that point.
Bruh, stop it. You were focused on the kids, but they saw you coming toward them.
Outside of it, obviously being a red SUV in my mind as I saw it come down.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't recall any other details about the vehicle.
So it'd be fair to say the only thing you can recall about the vehicle was the color of it.
That's all you needed to.
Be a larger vehicle.
So the color of it.
Correct.
That you was driving.
You stated that you initially waited before you seek medical attention. Any reason why you would wait?
I walked through the variables earlier. The hospital was on lockdown. I'm familiar with hospital operations enough to know that the acuity for my daughter didn't warrant me taking resources from other victims. My wife's a provider, an urgent care nurse practitioner. I felt she would be in a better position 15, 20 minutes later to assess and handle that from there.
Uh-oh.
You stated you did the father thing, as you put it, and downplayed the significance of the injury. Any reason why you would downplay it?
Bitch, you wouldn't know anything about that. You would not know not shit about being a father because your black ass ain't never been a real father. But I'm going to go ahead and say they downplayed it to not have the daughter panic because you traumatized her. That's, what I think. Let's see.
I think my initial reaction was a little confusion of what was going on and not seeing any bones sticking out or any blood. I immediately went into this sort of you're okay, meaning compared to everything else I'm seeing around us, you're in an okay position right now to get home. So I don't know if it was downplaying the injury per se, but it was more of just a triaging in my own mind of going, it's not that, it's okay.
It would be fair to say that the language you used was you downplayed the injury. Would
Correct.
that be fair to say?
Yep, that's correct.
The injury you caused. Would that be correct? Like you did this.
After the vehicle passed you, did you observe anyone being struck?
No.
Well, that solves it. I mean, there you go.
Before the vehicle approached, did you observe anyone being struck?
Yes.
Oh! Uh-oh. It ain't my fault.
You also stated that at one point, after you were observing the path of travel of the vehicle, that it felt like it was straightening up into the middle of the parade route. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah,
what do you mean by it felt that way?
Maybe in an incorrect term on my part. My recollection of the memory was that when it veered off, it went on and continued down the middle of Main Street.
Where there were more people.
So would it be fair to say that you really don't recall?
I certainly recall the vehicle heading back down Main Street, down the middle of Main Street.
I'm referring to you saying that it what it felt like as opposed to what you recall it doing.
I used the incorrect term there. When I said felt, it was more of the word choice of recall I should have used.
Oh. Well, you don't have a vocabulary, so you wouldn't understand. They so ready to go. They are so ready to go.
And you stated that you would estimate the speed of the vehicle to be about 25 miles an hour?
I said 25 to 30 miles per hour.
So somewhere in between that.
Correct.
And you also stated that it was the vehicle was about 30 feet away from you?
When I first initially saw the video, the vehicle was 30 feet away. It was just on the other side of the vehicle, the large suburban vehicle.
And then as it was
How did
approaching,
you come to the determination of the speed?
Because it was barely right at us.
oh,
So as it came around the vehicle, started coming towards us, it felt like 25 to 30 miles per hour. And then as it veered off, no brake lights, just veered off and continued right down Main Street at that rate of speed.
Well.
It felt like that was the speed. Is the term you just used again, felt. It felt like it was going that speed.
Dude.
So I'm using the term felt, and I am defining that as sort of a mental recollection or a gut feel. I'm not trained in assessing speed. So my gut feel, what I felt at that time, driving that street numerous times, is that it was going 25 to 30 miles per hour.
I feel that you're a bitch. That's how I feel. I feel that you're a bitch, and I feel like the whole courtroom needs to just go ahead and unload. I feel that the police officers should have emptied rounds and rounds and rounds of clips into your stank ass. I feel they should have beat you to the point of death, if not death. And I would say to the police, good job. You have cleaned some trash off the streets. There will be no protesting. There will be nobody talking about Black Lives Matter. It would have been like, good, let him go. Kill him.
So would it be fair to say, based on what you just said, that you're not trained in speed analyzation? Would it be fair? Would it be fair to say that you don't know exactly the speed of the vehicle? Grounds.
He just said he was speculating.
That's based on what he said.
Hold on, you asked multiple questions, so I'm going off of the very last question that you asked. And that is, would it be fair to say that you don't know the speed of the vehicle? To that question, the objection is overruled and the witness may answer.
Yes, without looking at a speedometer, I would have no way of knowing exactly how fast that vehicle was going.
Well, what he could have done was he could have did like a mental displacement, and he could have read the speedometer and knew exactly, because he could take over your body and then he could see with his own eyes the speedometer. So it's his fault that he couldn't, physically disincorporate himself and take over your body and then see what you see. That's his problem.
Did you notice any damage to the vehicle at that point that it passed you?
I don't recall honing in on that level of detail on the vehicle.
We saw it in the video, though. We saw that hood in the video. Astral projection.
If you may have seen anyone else present in the vehicle?
I don't recall.
It was Erica's fault, or Magical Marcus. They was in the vehicle. Magical Marcus and Stephanie and Erica. And Erica was driving because she was drunk.
Did you ever make any statements to law enforcement after the incident at any time?
Aren't you reading the report?
My wife and I both shared information on behalf of the crash report in our findings. or our initial statement.
You recall if that was the same night of the incident or in the following days after?
That was.
You know what? Analyzation, what it is analyzation. That's gonna be his future. Analyzation. Because it's gonna be a lot of that occurring in the jailhouse. Analyzation. Anal.
Following days.
Do you recall if it was a few days after or maybe a week or two?
Analyzation.
I don't recall specifically. I believe probably within a week or so.
Any idea why it took so long for you to give a report?
How the hell would he know?
Report.
Yeah, just dealing with my daughter and getting her situated, and just the magnitude of the incident. I think it took them a little bit longer. I think we were in contact pretty quickly, but it just took a while for them to get the resources back to us to collect everything.
Did you initially initiate the contact, which attempting to file a report?
I can't recall specifically. It's been close to a year, but I believe we did reach out to the DA's office at some point in the following days.
When you see something, say something.
Did you do any follow-up after that initial contact?
Follow-up.
To see if maybe your report had been filed or anything like that?
Because he seeked to testify. Is that where we're going? He seeked to testify.
At that point, the DA's office stayed in contact with us to let us know that everything they needed had been captured.
Do you recall who you talked to from the DA's office?
I don't.
Oh, yes, it's the DA.
Do you recall do you recall being told that you may be called to testify in this matter?
I do.
Were you seeking to testify?
There you go.
I know I was subpoenaed directly from the state, the DA's office.
So you didn't have any intention to testify in this matter before being subpoenaed?
I knew it was a possibility. I never reached out to request to testify. I let them do their job, and they reached out to me to let me know that.
Again, who in their right mind seeks to testify in a murder trial? Who? They don't seek to testify. You cause the issue. You cause the deaths and destruction that made him a witness to testify. Not because, today I just want to see some fuckery and, I'm going to run out in the road or I'm going to do XYZ so I can testify.
I would get subpoenaed.
Was there a name on the subpoena? Come on.
Have you read or seen any complaints in this matter?
Yes.
Grounds?
Sustained.
Can you get the grounds, Your Honor?
Have you or your wife filed any claims in this matter?
Which claim? Define claims.
He don't know.
Referring to being an injured party or anything of that nature?
We submitted a claim with the DA's office, I believe, for potential medical reimbursement.
Oh, pimping.
So that would be in regards to the medical bills
for my daughter. Correct?
Yeah, the medical bills you caused for running over his daughter's foot and breaking it. Yes, bitch, yes.
So would it be fair to say that you have a financial interest in this matter?
Oh.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Would you consider yourself to be an injured party in this matter?
His daughter is.
Me personally, no. Not physically.
So you weren't injured in any way in this?
Not physically injured, no.
His daughter was. You didn't ask if anybody else is injured. Come on, bury yourself deeper. Come on.
Are you aware of the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Ever had any contact with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Vague. Sustained.
Ever had any phone conversations or personal interactions with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Stupid.
Again, with regard to the nature of the question, it's vague.
Sustained.
I don't believe that's vague, Your Honor. I asked specifically if there were any phone conversations or personal interactions.
With the state of
I think
Wisconsin.
that's pretty clear.
With the state.
Sustained.
And I also believe the jury deserves to know if there is a plaintiff in this matter.
Your objection's noted. It's to that particular statement. Your statement is noted. To the objection from the state, it is sustained. Next question, please.
I bet you the state called you. The literal state called you. And on the call ID, it was 8675309. 8675309.
Are you aware if there even is a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Idjit the midget.
May I have the grounds for the sustain, Your Honor?
Relevance.
How is it not relevant?
I would object and say that it's very relevant.
Yeah,
Again,
it's
citing
Your
that.
objection is noted. Next question, please.
She said, bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. I think it's hard out here for a pimp. Come on, get on with it. I never ever pay my damn rent. I think it's hard out here for a pimp.
Were you ever contacted by anyone who identified as the plaintiff in this matter? Grounds.
Sustained. Still vague.
That's pretty clear, Your Honor.
It's clear.
The jury deserves to know this
Mr.
information.
Brooks, the objection has been sustained. Next question, please.
No further questions.
There you go.
Any redirect?
Briefly. Sir, at cross-examination, you had testified that you did not see any brake lights. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Ground.
Overruled.
Petty.
You testified further on cross-examination that you observed the red SUV strike an individual to your left. Is that correct?
Objection. He also stated that he was focused on his children and not focused on.
That's an argumentative statement. What's the legal basis for your objection, Mr.
He don't
Brooks?
That
have
is
one.
hearsay.
Hearsay.
I did not see the individual to my left get hit. I just saw her on the ground, or the victim on the ground.
After you saw her on the ground, did the red SUV stop?
Objection. Hearsay.
Then the red SUV stop is hearsay.
I did not see the red SUV from that duration of the parade. I didn't see the red SUV until the vehicle had already passed that position and came around the other large SUV. So I can't speak to what happened back there.
Was there anything that you could see in the roadway that would have prevented that red SUV from stopping before it started veering towards your group?
Objection. Hearsay.
Hearsay.
You didn't see.
Huh?
The objection to hearsay is noted. It's overruled. You may answer.
Can you ask the question again, please?
Certainly. Did you see anything in front of you that would have prevented the red SUV from stopping as it passed that car that obstructed your view initially?
Objection. Irrelevancy.
Overruled.
Irrelevancy.
Nothing that I saw would have stopped him. That wouldn't have allowed him to stop.
And after he impacted your group that was watching the parade and it continued on towards the dancing grannies, was there anything that you could see that would have stopped the red SUV?
Objection.
Who is the he you're referring to?
You bitch.
I don't understand the objection. Were you done asking your question?
I was.
Overruled. You may answer.
I don't consent to being called he. We don't even know the he that's being referred to.
Well, clearly the he that's being referred to. When you say I object to being called he, even your stupid ass know that they're referring to you. I don't know if you're trans or not, but if you still have an Audi, you're a he. That's your biological gender. You're a he. I don't really know what else to tell you. I mean, it is still Pride Month, so, just let your freak flag fly.
Overruled.
The witness didn't identify a he.
Overruled.
Aren't you a he?
I don't recall seeing anything in the road that would have stopped him from stopping, prevented him from stopping.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. You may step down. This will be an excellent point to take our mid-morning break.
There you
We'll
go,
be in
rolling
recess
his
for
eyes.
about 15 minutes. All rise for the jury, please.
Look at Judge Darrell. She tied. Let's see. That's it. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. Oh, where am I? Oh, here I go. Thank you for everybody who showed up tonight. I really appreciate it. I will be back to finish day 5. If it's something that I haven't already done. If I have done some of these people, then I'm going to go on to day 6. I do want to get the guy who gave him the sandwich that, they had the sandwich in his pocket. So I do want to get to that. And I'm going to try to get to that next time I come live. I'm going to try to do weekly lives. So, we can continue to talk, talk shit about this, because I know we're all still watching this trial because it is it's captivating. One more thing I want to say, y'all know that it's hot as Satan's balls, like I said. Make sure that you try and stay hydrated and you wear sunscreen. Even my melanated people, Black people, you need to have on sunscreen too, okay? Just because we have more melanin, we still need to be protected from UVA and UVB rays. All right. Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please continue to leave comments. I enjoy interacting with you, and I always try to respond, even though it may take a couple of days, but I really do appreciate it. Well, all right. So the last thing I'm going to say is drums, please.
Drums, please.
Ladies and gentlemen,